Hello, good morning, not even good morning, good evening. I'm Frederick Wakliaka, founder of Frederick Cybersecurity, protecting medium enterprises across financial services, professional services, and healthcare. This week on the Daily Business Intelligence Brief, 5 days, 15 stories, and one clear message. Attackers are moving faster than most organizations are patching, and artificial intelligence is accelerating both sides of that equation. Let us go through every day. This was last week, Monday 15th to Friday 19th June. Let's start with day one, Monday 15th June. We opened the week with a story that should concern every business that uses a browser extension. Um, Researchers confirmed that 152 malicious Chrome extensions had been operating inside enterprise environments, many for months silently harvesting credentials. Intercepting session tokens and exfiltrating data. These were not obscure tools sitting in dark corners of the internet. Several had thousands of downloads and appeared to serve legitimate purposes. Productivity tools, PDF converters, grammar checkers, the kind of extensions your staff install without a second thought. The lesson here is not that Chrome extensions are dangerous in the abstract. The lesson is that your organization almost certainly has no policy governing which extensions your staff can install, no inventory of what is currently running in your browsers, and no process for reviewing permissions. That is the gap attackers are walking through. On the business analysis side, hold on a moment. On the business analysis side, the Maine Attorney General took the unusual step of taking down a data breach notification portal after it was found to be exposing victim data. A portal built to protect people was itself leaking the information it was supposed to secure. This is a governance failure, not a technical one. When your compliance response becomes a liability, you have a process problem, not just a technology problem. And in artificial intelligence, the term agent jacking entered the threat lexicon this week. Researchers demonstrated that AI coding agents, the automated tools that write, test, and deploy code on your behalf, can be hijacked by injecting malicious instructions through error monitoring platforms, specifically through Sentry, one of the most widely used error tracking services in the development world. An attacker who can influence what your error logs contain can now influence what your AI agent does next. That is a new attack surface that most security teams have not yet mapped. Tuesday, 16th June, day 2. Tuesday brought a critical vulnerability that combined two of the most dangerous words in enterprise security actively exploited. Oracle PeopleSoft, the enterprise resource planning platform used by universities, hospitals, and large professional services firms across the United Kingdom and globally, was confirmed as actively exploited by the Shiny Hunters threat group. The vulnerability, rated 9.8 out of 10 on the severity scale, allows remote attackers to compromise the system without valid credentials. Shiny Hunters are not a low capability actor. They were responsible for the Ticketmaster breach that affected 560 million records. Their presence in PeopleSoft environments is a serious escalation. The business analysis story extended that risk outward. The PeopleSoft vulnerability is not just a problem for organizations running the platform directly, it is a problem for every organization that shares data with or receives services from a PeopleSoft customer, your HR provider, your payroll processor, your university partner. If they run PeopleSoft and have not patched your data, may already be in scope. Vendor exposure is your exposure. And in artificial intelligence, SearchLeak, a newly disclosed vulnerability tracked as CVE 2026-42824, demonstrated that Microsoft 365 Copilot, the AI assistant now embedded across Teams, Word, Excel, and Outlook in millions of organizations, can be manipulated into exfiltrating sensitive data through its search functionality. An attacker who can influence what Copilot searches for can use the tool to locate and extract data your users never intended to expose. If your organization has deployed Microsoft 365 Copilot, this is not a future concern, it is a present one. Wednesday, June 17th, day 3. Midweek brought two maximum impact enterprise vulnerabilities and a prediction that should be pinned to every boardroom wall. SAP NetWeaver, the integration layer at the heart of SAP enterprise environments, was found to contain a SAML authentication bypass rated 9.9 out of 10, the highest severity short of a perfect score. SAML is the protocol that tells your systems who is allowed in and who is not. A bypass at this level means the front door of your SAP environment can be opened without a key. NetWeaver sits underneath financial reporting, supply chain management, and HR systems in some of the largest organizations operating in the United Kingdom. If your organization runs SAP and has not applied this patch, that conversation needs to happen today. Oracle released its June critical patch update on the same day, 67 patches across its product portfolio, addressing vulnerabilities across databases, cloud platforms, and enterprise applications. 67 patches in a single release cycle. The volume alone tells you something about the pace at which the attack surface is expanding. And the artificial intelligence story from Wednesday was not a technical vulnerability, it was a survey result, and it was one of the most significant data points of the week. Research published on Wednesday found that 97% of enterprise leaders now expect their organization to suffer a breach caused by an AI agent within the next 12 months. Not might. Expect. That number reflects a shift in how organizations are thinking about AI risk from theoretical to operational. If your board has not yet had a conversation about AI agent security, they are in the 3%. Thursday, 18th June, day 4. Thursday delivered what may be the most operationally significant story of the week. 40 bleed. 30,000 Fortinet firewall devices were found to have been compromised through a vulnerability in Fortinet's management interface. Fortinet devices sit at the perimeter of enterprise networks. They are the boundary between the open internet and your internal systems. 30,000 compromised devices means 30,000 organizations, including many in the financial services and professional services sectors, may have had their network perimeters silently breached. The term 40 bleed is a reference to the Heartbleed vulnerability from 2014, which was similarly widespread and similarly severe. If your organization uses Fortinet, your IT team needs to audit those devices now, not at the end of the quarter. The business analysis story was Joomla's JCE editor plugin rated a perfect 10 out of 10 on the severity scale. A 10 out of 10 means an unauthenticated attacker, someone with no account, no credentials, no prior access, can achieve full control of the affected system. If your website runs Joomla with the JCE editor, it is either already patched or already at risk. There is no middle position. And in artificial intelligence, Thursday's story confirmed something security researchers have been warning about for over a year. AI-generated exploit code is now reaching live attack campaigns, not proof of concept demonstrations, not research papers, live campaigns used against real targets. Attackers are using large language models to write, refine, and deploy attack code at a speed that outpaces traditional detection cycles. The arms race is no longer theoretical. Friday, 19th June, day 5. We closed the week with three stories that together illustrate exactly how broad the attack surface has become. The Lightspeed cPanel plugin vulnerability, rated a perfect 10 out of 10, was added to the CISA known exploited vulnerabilities catalog with the federal remediation deadline of the 18th of June, the day before our publication. The flow allows any authenticated cPanel user, including a basic shared hosting account, to escalate privileges to root and take full control of the underlying server. If your organization's website runs on shared hosting, or if your web agency manages your site on shared hosting infrastructure, this vulnerability is in your risk surface. Ask your provider today whether they are running Lightspeed cPanel plugin and whether they have applied the patch. The business analysis story was a CRM data theft incident involving Salesforce and Klue, KLUE. Attackers exploited an OAuth or misconfiguration to access customer relationship management data. OAuth is the authentication mechanism that allows applications to connect to each other. When it is misconfigured, it becomes an open window into your CRM, your contacts, your pipeline, and your client records. CRM systems hold some of the most commercially sensitive data your organization owns. They are not always treated with the same security rigor as financial systems they should be. And we closed Friday in the development environment. Researchers confirmed that malicious versions of VS Code extensions, including CodeGPT and DeepSeek AI, assist two of the most widely used AI coding tools, had been published on the VS had been published to the VS Code marketplace and were actively stealing credentials and API keys from developers who installed them. If your development team uses VS Code with AI coding extensions, audit your installed extensions this weekend. That was your week. 15 stories, 5 days, one pattern. Attackers are exploiting the gaps between your IT team's patch cycle and your vendor's update schedule. They are using the tools your staff trust, browser extensions, coding assistants, CRM connectors as the entry point, and they are using artificial intelligence to move faster than manual detection can track. The question for your organization is not whether these threats are real. This week proved they are. The question is whether your security posture is designed for the speed at which the threat is now moving. If you found this week's business intelligence valuable, subscribe to the Daily Business Intelligence Brief on LinkedIn and follow Frederick Cybersecurity on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. For the full video edition, I am Frederick Wakoliaka. Stay protected. So I'll see you later. I have to give you the AI breach report. I'm doing it tonight, Saturday, so that tomorrow I can give you the weekend intelligence brief. Both the newsletter on LinkedIn and the live version, which is the review of it. Thank you for listening.